right, here we go. At the 6 o'clock position, we have coLMVP's Finale. He's going to be our red Protoss on Xel'Naga Fortress. And is this the version with or without the expiring Xel'Naga?
With.
Okay.
The better version. Really, the good version.
Absolutely, absolutely. Over at the 3 o'clock position, we have his opponent, and that is going to be our current 1-0 champion, Dignitas' Killer.
Yes, it is.
Yellow Berserk.
He may be up 1-0, but he's got a lot more kills to get, and coLMVP's got a lot of good players in the chamber. In this tournament, don't forget, they've already thrown out Genius, Dongrygu, and Kane on top of others, so they are not afraid to use their Koreans at all, even their top Code S Koreans, so we could see some amazing, amazing players. Of course, as we remember, it went down to the wire against Quantic IM. Went to 9 games where it was MVP versus Genius in game number 9, which, what a way to cap off an incredible night of Team Arena Challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned a Blinkstalker build. I think on this map, I couldn't agree more. I feel like two-base play on this map is really good. It's very difficult for Protoss to take a third and hold it on this map. You see a lot of Protosses try and take that expansion along the outer rim, and it just doesn't really work out for them. Zerg can get really good position there, and then
even in optimal circumstances, you're looking at being able to take and hold 3 bases, probably, and then it's a big tug of war to actually fight over the other bases that are scattered across the map. There's just no real secure way to get them. So as you mentioned, you're looking at 2-base builds on this map to get into the main and natural. There's so much cliff line you have to defend. Blinkstalkers are supremely useful, and Zerg players really do love going aggressive, roach play on this one anyway.
Yeah, they certainly do. The natural's wide open once again on this map. There's definitely room for all-ins, for super early 2-base aggression, you name it. And Killer opening up here with a pool and gas, so probably going to transition into quick speed and then get an expansion following that. Yeah. Probably not going to get much more gas than that right off the bat. Interesting wall here.
Exposing the pylon. But, we'll see. It's going to allow him some flexibility, though, because right away he can warp it down onto the low ground if the moment comes where he needs to defend against his ramp or something like that.
And I think he has the option to warp in 2 Zealots to plug that hole, if I'm not mistaken.
1 or 2, I think. I don't know. We'll find out here as there's going to be scouting units.
I meant like horizontally.
Oh, 2. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So even a bunch of Lings early wouldn't be able to break through there.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Yes. Okay.
And I actually really like walls like that. Makes it, if there's a counterattack of like 20 Lings or something and you warp in 2 Zealots, they're going to be forced to deal with the pylon if they want to get in, and that's going to take them quite some time.
And let's see here. So Finale does have his second gas. Sentries coming out, so nothing too out of the ordinary quite yet from Finale. He did bury a probe up here. This is a very clever spot because you have to get all the way within this area right here. We'll see if the Zergling sees it. Ah, he does. All right. Well, it does get found out anyway. It was still a clever spot.
It was a clever spot, I agree.
Because that low ground, you wouldn't see anything running right through here, and it's a tiny little area to expose yourself, so.
You know, and also Finale could have seen the Zergling coming from the high ground and maybe relocated his probe or something.
Sure, definitely.
If he had been watching it the entire time. Ooh, and a 1-gate FE, very quick here from Finale, and no additional Zerglings from Killer, so wow, Finale is actually pressuring with his first 2 sentries and a single Zealot off a 1-gate FE. That's so risky.
It is really risky because if...
imagine if there were Speedlings out on the field right now.
Exactly, because even if his attack did damage or he started pressuring the base, 4 Zerglings running by would about kill him. So
yeah, absolutely.
There's no warp in. He's only producing off of 1 gate, so... all right, we are going to see gateways number 2, and I would suppose 3 here in just a second as soon as the 150 is saved up. And there it is. There it is. All right, so 3rd gateway coming as well. What is Killer moving into, though? That's the real question. He's pulled himself off of gas completely so he can get up a really, really good economy and just start macroing like mad at the beginning, but he's not really shown his hand as to what tech he'll switch into.
No, he hasn't just yet. Hasn't started mining gas yet either, so he's just going to sit on no gas for now. Probably going to take a quick 3rd, and it looks like there's a drone already headed over there towards the 3rd, so he's going to grab that and probably resume mining gas once again in a little bit here. Perhaps get an evolution chamber, get some upgrades going.
Because that was an odd amount of gas to save up to just decide to cut after you had already invested in Zergling speed. So, but I like how the Zerglings came back from one more like, punch you in the face. Zealot was running away, but there we have the Roach Warren coming down for Killer now. He has gone back to mining gas with 3 Harvesters, and it plays into what we were talking about before with that aggressive Roach play off of 3 bases. Pretty darn powerful on this map. And from Finale, as of yet, just a Forge coming up.
Just a Forge, but he has a ton of sentries right now. He's been saving up quite a bit, and we do have an offensive pylon for Finale in the corner there at the 3rd. And it looks like he might use that to do a little bit of pressure here. He's moving out with all of his sentries and his Zealots right now. Whew. And this is a very early timing pressure here. 3-gate pressure off a 1-gate FE, so... Yeah, he uses 2 force fields right there to trap 2 Lings. Don't know about that.
As Killer sees that too, he decides to go right and put up some Roaches. So he is going to be pretty well defended against this. Oh, but here come the subsequent Warpins. There is a cannon going back at home and a full wall coming down for Finale. So he'll be able to remain defended against these Zerglings. Nice presence of mind. And these Zealots and Sentries are just moving right up, prepared to go ahead and force field that ramp if necessary.
Yep, and Guardian Shield goes down. He actually force fields the bottom of the ramp. But he is so committed here, and that pylon will not allow him to warp units into the main. If it could, that would actually be very helpful. Can it? I don't think it can.
No. It's too far away.
If he built that more over to the right, he could actually send his units down to the left of the main, and he could warp units into the main.
He does have enough sentries that he can continue this force field action, though, so he's going to need to drop those down again in a bit. Perfect range right there with the force field to secure his continued damage. How many workers has he killed? Just 6 at the moment, but that is going to grow as these Roaches fall.
Yeah, and there we go. There goes another force field. 2 Zerglings do make their way in. Those will get taken out. Another force field goes down. And it looks like Killer is going to clean all of this up, and he is going to get quite a few sentries. I think he's going to get, what was that, 7 sentries?
At least. Yeah. Quite a bit.
I don't know if that really paid off for Finale at all.
And he is up in economy, if that's any consolation. Is he following this up with a strong Warp Gate attack? There's our Twilight Council. 3 more gateways, so it is going to be 6 gate with upgrades and Blink. So... This is exactly how I expected a PvZ on this map to go, not gonna lie. So, with the exception of the overly aggressive Sentry Zealot push, I think.
Check out that pylon position. Okay, so had he put that 3 pixels to the right...
Yeah, exactly.
He could have actually ran one of those sentries over to sight the high ground there.
Exactly.
And he could have started warping units into the main, which would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I think he could have just outright won the game there had he been able to use his warp gates at the main.
And he is going to start checking for hidden expansions as well. But yeah, it's very possible. Another 3 Zealots right there. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but he's able to take out every single round of Zerglings that comes at him.
Yeah. That actually would have been really well thought out.
All right, well, we do have a Spire being thrown up now for Killer. And Robo finishing up for, every time I click over him, I was about to say Dongre Goo, but no, he's just using his account. That is Finale. Oh, look at this. A pylon up at the top, but a Zergling is going to sniff this out for Killer here in just a second, or so I would hope. Actually track his vision, and yeah, he's going to see that pylon.
Oh, wow, great presence of mind right there from Killer.
Yeah, he had the Overlord and it spotted the probe as it was making its way out, so nice job by him to follow up on it, though.
Yeah, indeed. And here we have a bunch of Stalkers for Finale, making their way out into the midfield. +1 and Blink finishing at the exact same time, so he's going to be able to hit a second timing window here, it looks like. And going to head into the natural. No, he's actually going to wait for this Observer and could potentially go into the main and do some harassment there, but he won't be able to bring all those sentries with him.
Correct. And so this may be a situation where he attacks through the front.
Oh, he's actually taking
and then sends the sentries up. And oh, so he is. Okay. I was right there with you. I thought he was going to try and pressure and do some damage, force some units out at the very least. And we'll see if any more Stalkers are getting warped in, as this is certainly not all of them. Oh, I guess there's only 1 more Stalker on the field right now. +2 is being started. There's another warp into 5 Stalkers. And looks like he's just going to wait for a little while at least.
Yeah, +2 is now on the way as well. And here we have Killer actually switching into Mutas, interestingly enough. I don't know if that's the transition he really wants to be making right now. He could get flanked here, though. Keep in mind, Killer does have forces behind that are coming from the back, and they're going to do a lot of damage. He could lose all of his Stalkers here. Oh, no.
And let's see. You know, his blinking, though, is still causing the target fire of the units to shift, even though they're not blinking away necessarily because he's flanked on both sides. So nice play out of him. But yes, Killer actually kills a lot of those sentries, all of the sentries, all the high gas sentries.
Yeah.
And the Stalkers are very low in health.
He does have his 3rd up and running though now, and they are on even footing. Both players are on 3 base here, and as he gets this 3rd saturated, he's just going to be in a better and better spot as this game continues to go on, unless Killer starts to take a fourth here, but he doesn't look to be doing so. I mean, I don't see any drones headed out. I don't see a fourth going up, so.
We do have a Templar Archives coming up now for Finale, so he's shown us that he just wants to move right into Charge Lot Archon or get Archons out there to continue to help against those Mutas. Blinkstalkers are good, but because of the maneuverability of the Mutalisks, they are still a little bit better in that regard. Let's see here. Baneling Nest being added now along with melee attacks level 2. Surge Flyer attacks level 1 just finishing up now.
And he's going to time that perfectly with his first engagement here with the Mutas. Flyer attacks level 1 is going to finish right as they head into the main here. So great job thus far from Killer. And there are enough Stalkers there and a cannon to hopefully ward off these Mutas. I don't know. That's a pretty big pack, though.
Yeah, it really is.
If he wanted to commit here 100%, I think he could kill those cannons.
It depends on how quickly Finale reinforces his units, and those Glaive Worms doing quite a bit of damage to the Assimilator already. Good control from Finale to blink the first group of units away, but you are exactly right, as he has not lost a Mutalisk yet, but killed about 2 or 3 Stalkers in the process. And sudden
did
blink
kill
of
a
a
few
unit
probes
there.
as well.
And let's see here, as Killer starts to expand to the top left-hand corner of the map.
I'm surprised he didn't take the main.
Is maybe I'm trying to rationalize this possibly to understand why he did that. He wants to get the quicker creep highway, so he successfully cuts the map in half and guarantees him the majority. I mean, is that a possibility? I mean, yeah,
it's definitely possible. It's just much more exposed.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And wow, up to 2 pages of Mutas, now 28 on the field already with +1 attacks. +2 is on the way, and it looks like here we go. Finale is getting assaulted at the moment. The Templar, importantly, went down very, very quickly. A couple were warped into the last second. They are turning into an Archon right now, but that goes down without doing any damage.
Yeah, but still, I mean, Killer has lost quite a few Mutas, especially on that attack, and now Finale is getting his Templar tech up. Storm is about to finish here, and you know, once he gets Storm up, it's going to be very difficult for Killer to utilize these Mutalisks as he has been thus far.
Killer's units are very, very squishy, and Storm is going to just wipe out swaths of Mutalisks and Zerglings, so let's see if he cancels this pylon here in a bit, or if Killer picks up on it. No, goes away, and that could spell disaster for Killer if that goes unchecked. Thank you very much, Matt Pinger. We saw that.
Yeah. Now we know 100%. Now we know it's there.
That's a lot of Banelings. 38 of them morphing in at the moment. +2 melee attacks did finish up, so they can one-shot workers, which is pretty critical, actually.
And they do have speed as well.
Yes. More evolution chambers being added now, though. And looks like Killer going to lose a couple of... I'm sorry, Finale going to lose a couple of units in the middle, but he has shown his unit composition and the Banelings that are out. And it looks like finally that pylon does get cleared up for Finale.
Ooh. And is Killer going to move in and potentially try and take out some of these Stalkers here? I think so. He's going to attack once again. Into the front he goes.
Oh!
Wow.
Banelings were destroyed. They haven't done any damage. And I thought that Killer, if he had been able to get a good engagement, would have been able to hit this army straight up. But the mitigating... Oh, he's mitigated so much damage from those Banelings. They've done nothing.
Yeah, they did nothing.
That was beautiful, Storms.
And the Mutas are all at half. I mean... So much damage being done to Killer right there. It's not even funny.
That was as good as a defense as he could have prayed for.
Yeah, that was beautiful. He just lured him in and just did so much damage there. Did he get the cancel?
No, he didn't.
I don't think so.
But he's at 2k minerals. It's not the biggest problem for him.
No, it's really not. Killer's actually mineral starved right now, oddly enough, and he doesn't... It's not like he has 70 Mutas in the queue, or 70 Lings in the queue or anything like that.
Exactly.
He's actually just straight up starved.
Infestors now in another round of Banelings, but going into that last engagement, Killer was actually up by about 35 supply or so. Not as much as he would have liked at this stage, but enough that he could have, and he gotten a good engagement, probably crush his opponent's army and remax pretty quickly. But now, that's a lot closer. Only 20 supply at the moment, and Finale is warping in some very high-powered units.
Yeah, he certainly is. Now... trying to harass into the main with the Mutas. We just heard Blink go off. Was that blinking to the main?
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
Actually,
defensive high Templar.
It was these Stalkers right here.
All ready and waiting with Storm. So Finale just doing a great job here playing against the Mutalisk style of Killer. I mean, he has everything on lockdown. And he really hasn't taken any significant damage from these Mutas. And, you know, if you don't take harass damage from the Mutas, they're really not worth their weight.
Definitely. It looks
especially
like
in a straight-up fight with Storm.
He will finally get himself a few kills now, but I've got to say 12 workers killed for that huge investment, and that's not exactly the straight-up engagement army that you want going at your opponent.
No, not at all. He has so much supply and money invested in these Mutalisks.
And we do have an Ultralisk Cavern coming up as well. That Storm was so close to just basically taking out that entire pack of Mutas.
Just grazed the Muta pack.
Yes.
And oh my goodness, Killer is actually making his move on the 4th here. There are 3 cannons and quite a few Stalkers. Storm goes down.
Such a good Storm, too, as that completely turned the army around. And still, even with the Hydras that are out there now, they're still very squishy units. And, oh, another Storm hits. It orange bars the vast majority of the Mutalisks. The Blink Stalkers are going to go down, but more are reinforcing. And there's going to be enough of a defense here as, oh, Killer goes around the right-hand side. It looks like he does use Banelings to crash through the Nexus. But now the supply advantage is Finale's, and he's going to start pressing that by moving up the map.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. A ton of Stalkers went down at the main, though. Killer getting very cost-effective with those Mutalisks and continuing to harass at the natural here. But Finale doesn't want to have anything to do with that. He is going to just counter cross-map and head straight for the main, it looks like. Killer reinforcing with Ultras right now. We do have 8 on the way.
Yes.
So,
yes, as a matter of fact, looks like the last of the Mutas were going down, but that was just trying to do as much damage as possible to free up supply for more Ultras.
Titanus plating and Armor 1 about to finish. I don't think Killer should be engaging here. He should wait for the Ultras.
I've got to say that without Chitinous plating and Armor 1, that's 3 armor that's on the way now for those Ultras. They are a lot less powerful, but here comes Finale, pushing up and taking out a good portion of these very high-value units. The Ultras are finally there, but there's the Storms.
2 Storms go off, a 3rd Storm. The Ultras are just getting ripped to pieces by these Stalkers. More Ultras making their way out, but it's not going to be enough. That is so many Stalkers. I think Finale is just going to go for it right here, take out the natural and the main. The Ultras trickling in one at a time, getting taken out as they come, and there it is. That's all the Ultras that were in the queue. There's one more.
They only have 1 armor right now, which is just not near enough. And, yeah, Chitinous Plating is about to finish up, but Chitinous Plating and all of those attacking at the same time could have certainly done some significant damage, but trickling in like that without the armor upgrades, no way at all. And Finale is going for the killing blow right now.
And there it is, GG.
All right, so congratulations to Finale as he ties up the set 1-1. We're going to move into game number 3 here in just a second.
是上将。